Good evening, everybody. We are so excited to be here tonight and share with you the goodness of hormones and health, and for you to hear from my friend Chris and his incredible journey so far. Um, so I'm Kelly Chun. I'm a nurse practitioner by trade, if anyone here does not know me. And I wanted to share first about the company we're with. We are with a company called Partner.co. It came about um, February of 2023 and brand new, but our products are not new. Our products actually have been on the market for some of them for decades. And so they are proven safe and effective. But how our company came to be is they brought 14 different health and wellness network marketing companies all together under one umbrella. This was um, this was a few years ago when we had such a health challenge in the nation. Everyone knows what I'm talking about there. And after that era, and when it was beginning to calm down, there were so many manufacturing issues and supply chain issues, and um, those companies really were struggling. So our company was formed by bringing those 14 companies together. And it was a beautiful position that we were in because that way we got to pick and choose the best of the products to bring under into our company. We didn't bring everything from every company. We got to pick and choose the best products. We also have products that are all um, derived from nature, but backed by science. And so, what that means for us is we can feel really good about taking those and recommending them to others. Our products are not regulated by the FDA, and I'm glad. And when people ask me that, I say, thank goodness they're not, because snack cakes are approved by the FDA and they're killing us. And so I'm glad these products are not regulated by the FDA because we get to have a little bit more control over the ingredients and how they work together. And um, but we do have science and we have clinical studies behind each and every product. What that means, like I said, is that we can feel safe consuming them and recommending them to others. And that is a valuable thing. Because I can't even say that about all pharmaceuticals by a far stretch. That's minimizing that statement. I don't feel as good about a lot of pharmaceuticals as I do these products because they are derived from nature, and that's always first and foremost the best method to go to when that's an option. So, one of our gateway products, and the one we're going to talk about tonight, is our body balancing drops. I call them hormone balancing drops because that's really what they target first are hormones. And those hormones I'm speaking of, anytime you say the word hormone, people automatically go to their mind starts thinking about, progesterone and estrogen and testosterone. And that is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about hormones of metabolism. And so it is cortisol, which is our stress hormone. It is our insulin, which is super important in metabolism, and our gut hormones, leptin and ghrelin. And when those four hormones are balanced, our entire body begins to balance. It's a beautiful thing. And it all really goes back to science and how we eat and take care of our body. We do have, I say we don't have a diet plan here. We really do not. We do have a list of foods that will not spike glucose. So low glycemic index foods. And it is so simple, I can't even tell you. It's real food. There's nothing else to buy. There's nothing, no prepackaged anything. It's just actual real food. And for so many people, it's mind-boggling, but in today's society, that's almost hard to do. It's hard for some people to even think about being on real foods all the time because we live in a microwave society where we want everything, at our fingertips and ready to go. But a lot of those things are processed, and they're processed with chemicals and preservatives and artificial food dyes and fillers and all kind of things in there that we do not want that disrupt hormones in the body, not to mention all the other havoc it causes in the body. So when you take it back to wellness, which is what we are about here at this company, real root cause wellness. It's about providing cellular nutrition. So that is literally what I'm talking about. It's micronutrients and good nutrition straight to the cellular level. And that's important for a long time wellness and health. And that's what we really want is to avoid all the chronic problems that we all have that are secondary really to lifestyle diseases in the US. So I'm super excited tonight to talk to my friend Chris Nutt and let you hear a little bit about his journey so far. Um, and he's had incredible results, but I want him to share from the beginning. So, Chris, can you just walk us through what life looked like before you started using the system, especially in terms of your weight, your energy levels, and just kind of overall general health? Oh, I think we've still got you muted. Let's fix that. All righty.
Yeah, okay, I'd love to talk about this. This is one subject I can talk a while about because of the things it's done for me. Before we started the drops, I always had weight issues. Not only weight issues, but health issues. I mean, you just felt tired all the time. You had no energy to do nothing. You didn't want to go do anything. You go to work, you come home, you just wanted to stay there. Like I said, weight wise, you start, everybody done Atkins, everybody done carbs and all that. You lose a little bit, as I was saying, you lose five, gain 10, and that's the way we was. You'd get tired of it. Then we
That
had
was
this,
my experience before too, for sure.
and you just get aggravated with that, and finally you say the heck with it. Then this opportunity come along, and it's been a life changing event for us, for me, not only for the health issues, just better health overall.
That's awesome. So, what kind of changes would you say you have experienced after starting the drops? I know you said you had a lot more energy and just kind of feeling better overall. What specific kinds of changes have you had?
Well, when we started the drops, I think Bethany reached out to Christy about coming to a drop talk, and we did. And you was there, Haley was there, and of course Ken and Bethany. And I'll be honest with you, when we went, we was like going. I mean, I don't know. I was very skeptical about doing this and that. And of course, when we was there, Christy signed up as a brand partner, and we bought 4-pack or whatever it was at that time, and started taking them. And probably within, I'd say, a week and a half, noticed improvements. I mean, started feeling a little more energy, started feeling better, sleeping better, getting up ready to start the day or things like that. And then finally, you start seeing, you would sit down to eat, and we would eat, try to eat off the plan the best we could. By no
Mhm.
means am I a poster child for the approved plan, but we would try our best. And at here you'd notice, well, you didn't eat as much. Then
Hmm.
we went out and ate one night, and something that barely rare comes out of my mouth. I needed a go box. I'm like, well, what's going on here? Something's different. And then you keep thinking, well, maybe I am doing things that I don't notice, and people all of a sudden start saying, "What are you doing? I mean, what are you talking about? What am I doing? I mean, you're dropping weight and you're doing this." And my thing was that part was great, but the way I felt was just, I mean, that this, like I said, the weight loss is just basically I say a side effect of the way I was feeling.
Hmm. I hear that from so many people, and I know that was some of my experience. I really was shocked by some of the effects so quickly. So share a little bit. I know you have challenges with blood sugar and blood pressure, cholesterol, which I say is kind of the triad of chronic disease. When blood sugar and blood pressure and cholesterol get out of whack, um, it causes a lot of other issues. But what have your improvements been in those areas? I know you've had some tremendous results.
Yes, like I said, being overweight, I guess that just comes with being a diabetic, high blood pressure, and cholesterol issues. Along
It
we
comes
find
with those hormone imbalances too. It's a direct result of those hormone imbalances for sure.
Then I found out in 2022 that I had sleep apnea, and so it just kept going and going. And we started the drops, and noticed things started feeling better, feeling better. Then, probably I don't know 6, 7 months into it, I'd wake up and get up, I'd just be dizzy, lightheaded. Like, what in the world is going on now? And finally, Christy checked my blood pressure and it bottomed out. It was so
Hmm.
low, it was like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on. So called the doctor and she was like, well, maybe slack off your medicine a little bit. We done
Hmm.
that, started checking my, sugar a little regular and sort of cut that down a little bit. And finally went back to my 6 month checkup or whatever for all my blood work. And it was like going, your numbers are like great. And I'm like, oh, I've been doing this and that. And she's like, well, actually, you need to stop taking some medicine. So I stopped blood pressure and I stopped metformin at that time for sugar. Went back 6 months later for blood work again. My A1C was 4.9 with no medicine or no metformin. Blood pressure was at, I think, like one, maybe one time, but it was perfect almost. And they was like, hey, whatever you do and keep doing. I asked about cholesterol and it's like, well, it's borderline. We need to stay on it just a little bit longer. I said, okay. So I went back probably 6 months ago again, had it checked, went back 3 months ago to have blood work done just to check it with no medicine. It's within limits. So I do not take anything pill wise for high blood pressure, metformin for sugar, or for cholesterol. And my sleep apnea, this is the one that's most recent. Back then, I had a home study and they determined, yes, you have sleep apnea. Come home, give me a CPAP. Been wearing it since 2022. And probably 3 or 4 months ago, we looked at an Inspire. So I went back to the
Hmm.
doctor. They said, it's been a year or so since you had a study, need to have one. Okay. Had it, come home, done it, went back, got the results, and they said, you don't qualify for Inspire. But these numbers, you probably need to have an in lab study done because the numbers are more accurate. And plus, you could stay off your CPAP a few days to get a true reading. No problem. Went, had the in lab study done 2 or 3 days later, and went back to the doctor. And they said, well, the bad news is you don't qualify for Inspire. I'm like, well, that's great. She said, but the good news is you really don't have sleep apnea no more either. So you can stop the CPAP. So we went from getting the Inspire to not even having nothing, from losing a little bit of weight and, dropping my, my sugar, my high blood pressure, cholesterol. So that to me is probably the biggest accomplishment I've had because I'm gonna tell you, I hated the CPAP. It drove me
Yeah.
crazy every night since 2022.
That is amazing. So you were off metformin, you're off cholesterol medicine, you're off all your blood pressure medicines, and off CPAP.
And also it helps with carpal tunnel too. And I don't know if the drops do or Moa does, but one of the two, I do. I don't hurt my carpal tunnel. My fingers and all do not hurt no more as well.
That
So
is amazing. What a transformation for you. So, some people think the products are expensive, but from what you're telling me, you're off multiple prescriptions. That in and of itself, not to mention just the health benefits and the fact that it costs less to be healthy than to be sick, right?
well, and you
So
say
you are saving money.
when we first joined this, I talked to Chris about. I'm like, going, we're going to pay that for something that we don't know if it's going to work or not. And come to find out, that's the best investment we've made. Uh, but you take this, and not only did we have all these other accomplishments, but me and Chris was actually talking about this the other day. We went through the whole winter. I take the drops, I take Moa, I take Renew, and during the winter I did take Noni. Neither
Uh-huh.
one of us got sick the whole winter. You may have a sniffle today, but it was gone by tomorrow. But
Yeah,
nobody had anything major that lasted 2 or 3 days. And that was the first time in, I don't know, none of us got sick around here.
I love that. And straight up the worst part of the year for viral illnesses and all the things. And typically, somebody with diabetes tends to catch everything that comes along. But the fact that you are really within non-diabetic range, an A1C of 4.9 is not normal for diabetes. It's normal, stone cold normal, like non-diabetic range. That's amazing. Um, so in summary, let me ask you this. What would you say to somebody who's maybe on the fence about trying the system, especially if they're struggling with multiple health concerns like you are? I know a lot of people will say, "Oh gosh, I have all these things and I take all these medicines and I better, ask somebody first."
Well, like I said, I took the drops, taking all that medicine. It was no problem, no side effects from drops and medicine mixing together. Never was an issue. If somebody is on the fence about this, I'm going to tell you, hey, they can call me, ask me anything, anytime, because I'll be glad to share that because it is, like I said, for
I think we froze up there. Everybody else hearing okay? We'll give him just a second, see if he gets unfrozen. All right. Um, well, I'm going to say thank you so much to Chris for being so open and sharing his journey. I did want to just close with a little bit about our food plan. So Chris was saying, that he was not perfect on the food plan. We don't try to be perfect here. We stick as close as we can, but we know here that nobody's perfect. We stick as close to it as we can, but I'll tell you what I have personally experienced and what people tell me every day is that as their hormones begin to balance as a result of our hormone balancing, body balancing drops, they can suddenly have their cravings suddenly being decreased. They do feel less sugar cravings or maybe less salt cravings, less junk food, processed food cravings. But it's just real food. It is simple. It's meats, fruits, veggies, healthy fats, nuts, legumes, very real food that's easy to access anywhere. And it's really easy actually to do on the go because I know a lot of people think they can't um, go throughout the day and access real food as easily because they're just so used to grabbing something in a package. But once you begin to concentrate more on real food, you'll begin to see that there's real food everywhere you go. There's always an alternative, but we do not have to be perfect here. We strive for good food decisions, better food decisions, and best food decisions. And we just lean into that and do the best we can. Drink your water, take the drops. It's super simple. So I thank you again, Chris, for being so open and sharing tonight. Your journey and your testimonial is mind-boggling. But I hear these things every day from different people. So we're going to continue to have these events a couple of times a month and have different people on. So if you or someone would be interested in getting healthy by wellness, true wellness, and without hopefully as many pharmaceutical drugs, but really changing your lifestyle and having a little help along the way with some body balancing drops, get back in touch with whoever brought you here to this event or whoever is sharing this video with you. We are recording, and so the recording will be posted as soon as it gets converted. So have a good evening, everybody. We will stop the recording and take any questions someone may have. Good night.